What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Let's Play Silent Hill 3. In the last episode, we picked up a key in the storeroom using a pair of tongs we got from the bakery, and that key is leading us to the bookstore, where we are going to solve one of the game's not only earliest riddles, but one of the most difficult ones if you're playing it on hard riddle difficulty, which we are. This riddle has quite the infamous reputation. There's Helen's Bakery. We're going to move right past that and past a closer up here. There he is. And not that one. Over here on the left is the bookstore. Unlock that with a key. You don't have to go into the inventory to unlock that one. And if you come down here through the aisles, we're going to find a bunch of books tipped over off of a shelf. We have 5 volumes of Shakespeare here, each book containing a different work. Examining them is going to tell us which work is in which volume. So we have Romeo and Juliet, King Lear in volume 2, Macbeth in volume 3, Hamlet, and the last one should be Othello. If you're on easy riddle difficulty, there's only going to be 2 here and there's not much of a puzzle. I'm going to put these back on the shelf because if I don't, they'll take up space in my inventory for the rest of the game. It also helps to look at the riddle by the counter, which we'll do in a moment, and then put them on the shelf in the correct order because it makes it easier to visualize the answer to the puzzle later on. That's not gonna be necessary for me because I already know what the combination to the key code is, but I'm still gonna walk through how you're supposed to come to the solution for this riddle. So up ahead on the counter, we're gonna come to a very long riddle broken up into 8 verses. The first verse isn't relevant to the puzzle at all. Verses 2 through 6 each reference one of the plays from the books, and they tell you which order the books go in from left to right. Verse 7 describes what to do with some of those numbers, and verse 8 is not important. In Here is a Tragedy, art thou player or audience? Be as it may, the end doth remain. All go only toward death. First words at thy left hand. A false lunacy, a madly dancing man, hearing unhearable words, drawn to a beloved's grave, and there, mayhap, true madness at last. As did this one, playing at death, find true death at the last. Killing a nameless lover, she pierced a heart rent by sorrow. Doth lie invite truth? Doth verity but wear the mask of falsehood? Ah, thou pitiful, thou miserable ones! Still amidst lies, though the end cometh not, wherefore yearn for death? Wilt thou attend to thy beloved, truth and lies, life and death? A game of turning white to black and black to white. Is not a silence brimming with love more precious than flattery? A peaceful slumber preferred to a throne besmirched with blood. One vengeful man spilled blood for 2, 2 youths shed tears for 3, 3 witches disappeared thusly, and only the 4 keys remain. Ah, but verily, and here is a tragedy. Art thou player or audience? There is nothing which cannot become a puppet of fate or an onlooker peering into the cage. In order, verse 2 references Hamlet, which is anthology number 4. Verse 3 references Romeo and Juliet, which is number 1. Verse 4 is Team Silent being mean and throwing in a red herring that has nothing to do with the puzzle. Just to confuse you, verse 5 references Othello, which is number 5. The 6th verse references King Lear, which is number 2. And then Macbeth is number 3. So the order of the books is 41523, but that doesn't give us the key code yet for a number of reasons. For starters, there are 5 numbers there and we only want 4 for the code. Second, 2 of the numbers had to be manipulated. That's where verse 7 came in. And I'll explain how you figure out how to manipulate the numbers in just a second because we're about to have a cutscene.
Hey, wait, what's going on? Where is everybody? Those weird monsters?
They have come to witness the beginning. The rebirth of paradise, despoiled by mankind.
What are you talking about?
Don't you know? Your power is needed.
How should I know?
I am Claudia.
So what?
Remember me, and your true self as well. Also, that which you must become. The one who will lead us to paradise with blood-stained hands.
Claudia, right? Did you do all this?
It was the hand of God.
I don't get it. What does she want me to remember?
Okay, sorry to break it up like that. I didn't want to just sit around or stand around doing nothing for 2 minutes mid-explanation. So verse 7 starts off, one vengeful man spilled blood for two, which refers to Hamlet. And Hamlet's anthology number is 4. Now the part that's really hard to pick up on is the spilled blood for 2 part. That's telling you to double the numbers. So 4 becomes 8, the first number in the code is 8, and then 2 youths shed tears for 3 is obviously talking about Romeo and Juliet, which is in the first volume. Again, we're multiplying the numbers, so 1 times 3 equals 3. The second number is 3. We now have 83523. After that, we use the next line in verse 7 to eliminate a number. 3 witches disappeared thusly. That's referencing the witches from Macbeth. And the passage is telling us that Macbeth's volume gets removed, so we don't have to worry about number 3. That leaves us 8352, which was our combination.
Is this a dream? It's gotta be. Not even a kid could believe in this. But when am I going to let go?
Man, it feels good to be back in the Nightmare world after how sparingly it was used in Silent Hill 2. Also, while I was talking about the Shakespeare puzzle, I didn't even get to comment on our meeting a new character. That was Claudia Wolf, who is, to put it in Silent Hill 1 terms, she is our analog for Dahlia Gillespie. And this isn't much of a spoiler. This game, Silent Hill 3, gets much more into depth with the cult. It's picking up where Silent Hill 1 left off with the cult. And Silent Hill 2 kind of ignored the cult storyline. And Heather's apparent amnesia, her vague recollections factor very heavily into the plot of the game. So back in the elevator, we picked up our radio for the first time. You can hear it emitting static the closer we get to enemies. And I'll talk more about the radio momentarily, because we are also on our way to pick up a flashlight. Gone quite a while in this game without picking up a flashlight, and we went a while without even having a radio, which are 2 recurring staple items in the Silent Hill series. Just have to check where I'm going. I think the flashlight is up ahead somewhere. Also, I'm pretty sure that the bathroom door is open. Oh. The sound design, not even just the music, but the sound design in general in Silent Hill 2, or Silent Hill 3, sorry. It's just the best. This memo is giving you a hint as to where you can find the flashlight. If you turn the lights off, you'll see the light from the flashlight gleaming through these two crates over here. You don't actually have to turn the lights off to pick the flashlight up. It's just giving you a little hint to help you notice where the flashlight is. But now we have that, and we can continue onwards towards, I think, a room with a Silent Hill 2 reference in it, a pretty big one. Yeah, so let's check the bathrooms out. Also, I think there might be a first aid kit in here. Not entirely sure about that. No, there is a more important item than that first aid kit. We have some bleach, which we will use hopefully before the episode ends for another puzzle. If you knock on the stall, you knock on the stall, you get a knock back, and as you exit the room, you can hear the stall door creaking open. So let's check back inside to see what that was all about. So it's just a blood-soaked toilet. I've seen a lot of those in Silent Hill so far. So there are a number of Silent Hill 2 references in the game, like Happy Burger in the beginning. That was the restaurant Heather was in. But there are some more blatant ones if you have a Silent Hill 2 save file handy on your memory card. One of them was back in the bathroom. If you knock, leave, and come back, and you examine that gross bloody toilet, Heather will start to mimic what James did back in Silent Hill 2, reaching into the toilet. And then she pulls her hand away in disgust and says it's too gross who would ever do something like that. Since the PC version doesn't recognize my Silent Hill 2 file from the stream, unfortunately, I can't really show that off too much. There are a couple moments like that that depend on whether or not you have a Silent Hill 2 save file handy. I'll point those out as we go along. There are, I think, like 2 or 3 more of those. And we'll pick up a hanger, and also we picked up a bulletproof vest from the rack just there. Oh shit, I forgot that happens. Ooh. That door is totally jammed, and the sound effect there is just there to startle the hell out of you, which it does a pretty good job of doing. Just move on past the closer. I can't remember now. Ah, I'm actually not even in the right area. There is a door that I'm going to be heading through in a little bit that's not marked on the map, and it always confuses the hell out of me because I forget that it's not marked on the map, and I try every door in the mall looking for it. So it's, I think, down this corridor here. It's one of these, I want to say. No, other side. It's the east side. Or west side, sorry. Getting my sides all mixed up. Okay, and here, I believe we have a ladder in here somewhere. There it is. First, let's take a little look around. I don't think you can go through the door. Also, about the vest, by the way you get this ladder extended down, Heather is, yeah, there it is. Only had something long to snag it with. So Heather's going to snag the ladder with the hanger. In the meantime, though, about the bulletproof vest, don't worry, it's not turning into Dead Space 3 or RE6 or Silent Hill Homecoming. Heather's not going to get into a shootout with monsters or people from the cult. It just reduces any damage you take from monsters by 15%. The thing about the bulletproof vest, though, as you could probably see when I examined it, it is an interesting new addition in that it will help you reduce the damage you take from attacks, but it also slows your walk and run speed down noticeably when it is worn. I'll try to show that off in a later part. I don't really like using it in the mall too much because there's not a whole lot that can threaten you in the mall. We didn't get a new message from that save file. That's a shame. Gonna try to check all of them out regardless. Here we have another reference to Silent Hill 1 this time. That is the same tape that plays for Harry when he is in the mall in Silent Hill 1 when he's coming through looking for Cheryl. Oops. Numbodies can be a little bit scary to deal with in tight areas, especially when they come in packs of 2 or 3, because Numbodies can wind their attacks up and knock you down. They don't do a whole lot of damage with each attack, but the fact that they can get a knockdown on you is a little bit of a problem. So I think I'm heading down this corridor. This door should be locked for the time being. Yeah, we'll come back here later on. And where is the room with the key? Oh, closer. Ooh. Very tight hallway. Closer. That's broken. One of these doors we can go through. Hopefully the closer does not catch up to me. It's this one. Shit. Always forget which one of those doors is or is not jammed. We get a walnut here in the jewelry store. And this... I think this message about the silver ring might be a reference to the silver ring from Silent Hill 2. I'm not sure. Actually, weren't there rings in Silent Hill 1, 2? Okay, so we're pretty much done on the second floor for the time being. We have to head up the escalator to the 3rd floor and go through the double doors here. And now we are in a restaurant. Is this... No, this isn't Happy Burger. I thought this was the Happy Burger from the beginning of the game. So, somewhere over here, there it is. We get a health drink and a first aid kit. But more importantly, if we walk over here, point the camera correctly, find this barbecued dog. And if we reach our hands inside the dog's stomach, we pick up a cooked key. That key is the key to the locked door that we just came from a couple of minutes ago. Ooh, and the closer is right there, so we're going to book straight down the escalator. It's all we came up to the 3rd floor for. Now we can just hightail it back to that locked door. If I remember which corridor the locked door is in. The layout of the mall can sometimes trip me up a little bit, so... Okay, I know where I'm going. Just check your map religiously. Heading through... This is the room with the 3 Numbodies, so we're heading through here because it's a connecting room to the other hallway. And it's right over here on the left. So, with a cooked key used, we will find a bunch more health drinks. That brings us up to probably like 6 or 7 now. And we get a steel pipe, which is going to be our first new weapon after the handgun. So we will immediately equip that. Show that off real quick. Should have a combat area in the next room. Nope, that door. Yeah, in this circular hallway, we have a couple of Numbodies to kill one after the other. Oops, it's hitting the wrong button. The other thing about the Numbodies is even though they aren't that threatening, but they can knock you down, which makes them a little bit dicey to deal with in tight areas or packs. The other thing about them is that, 1, they're durable, and 2, they can leap out of the way of your attacks, so you have to be careful about them. Otherwise, they're not too big of a deal, especially if you can just avoid them, which, for the most part, I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be avoiding most of the Numbodies. But since we just got the pipe, might as well beat a couple of them up. And in the tradition of Silent Hill, Heather has a puny little finishing stomp that just seems like a love tap. Now, somewhere in this room we are going to find, there it is, a bottle of detergent. So we now have bleach and detergent, and we have everything we want out of this room, so we'll exit through the opposite door. And we have a fan. So we'll come over here to the switch, turn the fan off real quick. It's not going to stay off for too long. Note the bucket in the corner here. I'll show you why that's useful in just a second. It's creepy and dangerous to boot. Can't stab them all one by one, Some insecticide would do the trick, though. So we are going to mix our bleach and our detergent together in this bucket. We are going to do something that you should never do, because everyone knows not to mix bleach and ammonia because bleach contains chlorine, which when combined with ammonia, which is what I'm assuming is in the detergent, you get chloramine, which produces toxic vapors. So Heather's insecticide is something that just burned the shit out of her lungs, because she is not a good chemist. Just standing directly over the bucket. With the fan back on, it will disperse the gas in the room, and with the insects dead, Heather can progress now. So that's going to do it for this episode of Silent Hill 3. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a comment, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.